Who would have guessed that the end of 2021 would be the last Christmas we spend in our 2,700 square foot, 5-bedroom home? We spent the better part of 20 years changing and painting, basically making this home something that we could stay in forever. After spending so much time during COVID shutdown, it was easy to realize that we didn't need this much house. Our journey begins right here. Doreen and I purchased a really cheap fifth wheel camper for the express purpose of using it for Oshkosh. Of course, it was rough on the inside, but we had time. Oshkosh wasn't until late July, so we had the entire winter to fix it up. Little did we know that this cheap pull-behind camper would become our home for the next 6 months. Our original plan was to list this house at a higher than asking price, start shopping for land, and once we returned from Oshkosh in late July, we would set out on search for a smaller, easier to manage home. But the story takes a twist here. We listed our home for an extraordinarily high price and found ourselves with a sale 7 hours later, and we still haven't purchased land yet. From this point, we spent much of our spare time looking for land or an affordable small house with at least an acre. We finally settled on a small 1-acre lot on a secluded dead-end street surrounded by 21 acres of unbuildable land. Essentially, we found heaven. In late April, early May, I set out to clear enough land to park our new 28-foot mansion. Fortunately, we had enough time to get the mobile mansion in order, clear a spot suitable for camping, and erect our temporary living room in the woods. It looked like if we were going to be in a home before winter, we were on our own. I downloaded some floor plan apps, used my electrical knowledge to design the utilities, and submitted the entire plan set to the county engineer for approval. Once I got the approval and we had secured a crew to build the frame, we did what any responsible homeless couple would do. We packed up our mobile home and hit the road for a week of airplanes and friends. There's something about hitting the road with your best friend who happens to also be your wife. Without this woman's understanding, this project would never have happened. The real work begins when we get back, but for now, we enjoy our life on the road. Once we returned from Oshkosh, I set up our temporary electric pole, and in the middle of August 2022, the city building inspector looks over my plan set one last time and gives the framers the final thumbs up. Less than 36 hours later, our future home was completely dried in. From here, Doreen and I started the plumbing process. We had to make a few adjustments from the plans, but all in all, that process went pretty smoothly. We both feel very fortunate that we're strong enough at 60 years old to do some of the manual labor. Additionally, thankful that Doreen is small enough to fit inside the ditch to roll out the water line. For the next 3 weeks, we will both be working full-time jobs, and as opportunities arise, spend our other time stringing wire, finishing the plumbing, doing the electrical panel, getting the concrete floor prepped for the pour that's scheduled within the next week. We opted for 2 inches of dense foam reflective insulation on the floor. I really didn't want to waste the energy resources heating a floor. I'm glad we didn't bother. The 2 inches of insulation, 6 inches of concrete, and a vapor barrier and insulating floor makes it comfortable enough to walk on barefooted in the winter. Nearing the end of October, it started to get cold. We needed to double time to get the drywall in place and the insulation complete, start laying out the cabinetry, and mudding and painting. We anticipated doing the entire interior in black, which made the taping and sanding process really tedious. We're now a month behind schedule, and in just a few days before Thanksgiving, we're inside the home, but we have a bedroom and an air mattress and a lot of work ahead. Our trusty French bulldog that you saw in the previous frame made sure that all of the cardboard and styrofoam pieces were prepared for recycling. Everything started to come together at this point. We had hoped to have the kitchen completed so that we could have a normal Thanksgiving. That wasn't to be decided. It wasn't until we started doing the bathroom that we discovered the concrete guys had accidentally moved the water lines away from the drain area. That forced us to change the bathroom layout, setting us back another week. We shifted things a bit, modified the drawer, and made it work. More painting and patching, with Sheldon always around the corner, eager to show us his escape skills. When you embark on a project like this, it's tough to finish a day without recognizing exactly how fortunate you are. We still have things to finish and small adjustments to make, but one thing's for sure. We both have enjoyed this journey immensely. This tiny little house has made us reflect on the people that are important to us. We don't miss the big house like we thought we would. Once we finish completing the yard and the garage interior, we'll find another project. For now, this is us wishing you a very Merry Christmas. If you received this link, you are in our contact list. If you've not been in touch with you now, you know why. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hug the people that are important.